All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell with JSNIP4 of Realist News, sometime better known as what, brother?
You may know us as Neo and Morpheus. That's our street name, but our YouTube name is Pastor Dowell and JSNIP4.
What you got, brother? I mean, I called you up because I really wanted to talk about this. We're now over the 100% of the debt to GDP ratio, as well as the Greeks over there, brother, and how that this actually is nothing but a prelude of things to come here in this world.
Well, I woke up this morning, and, I'm hearing the same garbage. This bailout deal is going to go through and everything else, but it's the second and third bailout. I mean, there's all this different money coming in from whether it's the IMF or the ECB, the European Central Bank or whatever. And like I did my video the other day, you cannot solve a debt problem by piling on, not just adding more debt, piling on more debt. Just like you can't put a fire out on a house by adding a flamethrower as your tool to put the fire out. It's just insane. So they do this deal, and immediately, I think it was Fitch rating agency, they were at, what was it, triple C rating. They're down to C now. So, like I said, they keep refusing to call a default so that they don't have to issue these credit default swaps. It's basically an insurance program, insurance on that bet. And the problem's going to be is all of our big banks, everyone knows the too big to fail, of course, are the ones issuing back and forth, part of the ones issuing these massive insurance contracts, as well as they have some of their own for themselves. So it'd kind of be like the insurance industry, housing insurance industry, all the different companies. Let's say there's four major companies that take care of most of America, and they all issue insurance to each other, and it's kind of like, ring around the robin or ring around the Rosie or something with these insurance contracts. So when one of them has a catastrophic fail, ultimately they all have a catastrophic fail because they're all tied together. So they're going to have to issue these credit default swaps sooner or later. And once they do that, that's when the chain of cascading events or whatever should start taking place. That doesn't mean it'll happen and, Greece goes off a cliff and then in a week later the whole system's done. It may not happen that quick, but that'll be the first chain to break. Then another chain's going to break. Then you have the whole faith of that system. It's the faith that what is all they care about. We need the people, investors, everyone to have faith that this little issue with Greece is okay, we're going to fix it. But as soon as Greece is let go, they're going to default on the money anyways. They already are. I mean, they're down to 30% that they owed on these bonds. It was 100%.
Right.
I looked yesterday, in the return, the interest on the bonds, which is normally like 0 point something percent, or in some instances when it's a little bit of trouble, it's 3, 4, 5%. And usually they say 6 or it's around 7% or so when there's kind of like the world's looking at you like, okay, there's going to be an issue here. You can't hide it anymore. These percentages right now are over 600% on a bond. So they're telling people, we'll give you 6 times your money if you buy these bonds from us. And they're saying, well, we're going to give out 30-year bonds too now. Now think about this. If you're a betting man, are you going to bet that Greece is going to be in a situation, are you going to wait out 30 years? I'm thinking like months. This thing's going to be over in months, maybe a year or something, right? So they're telling everyone here, buy our bonds. We give you 600 and something% return, but you instantly see what happens. You buy a bond, let's say it was $1 billion, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's got a great return, I'm happy. Yeah, but it's a 2-year bond or whatever it is you bought. Let's say a 2-year bond. You got to wait 2 years to get all the interest throughout those 2 years, and then you can get your bond, turn the bond back in and get the money back. Plus, you made all that interest. The problem is, they just shortcut it. They just shortchanged you almost immediately. Oh, we're dropping you down to 50%. You just took a 50% haircut. Now you took another 20%. You're down to 30%. So you lost 70% of the bond. You had no control over it. They just told you you're now left with 30%. But we'll still pay you that hefty interest rate, but you're only getting it on 30% now.
Oh, boy.
So you keep losing. Faith doesn't – they need it, but it's not going to matter because they can only just kick this can a tiny bit before the whole thing freaking blows up. And then it's going to be Spain or Ireland or Portugal or France or whatever. And those guys, when any of them go, it's good night. It's over. The EU's done. The entire thing will break apart. And that's the key about the whole faith thing, because if Greece is let go and everyone stands by and says, well, what did Greece do with all that debt? Well, it's kind of gone. They started their own new currency again, and that was the old currency. The EU currency is where they owed all this debt, so now it's gone. Basically, they can pull an Iceland maneuver. Iceland, by the way, very recently, like days ago, I think I read this, may have even been yesterday, they took, I don't know if you saw the video today or not from Max Kaiser. It was just a minute and a half long. It always tells you about the upcoming show on Russia Today. It's like a little preview. It'll probably be out tomorrow, the full show. But they did the little minute and a half clip today. I watched what he said, and he said the same thing which I was fixing to tell you about Iceland. He goes, hey, the people of Greece, you didn't take my advice. The people of Ireland, you still haven't taken my advice. But the people of Iceland, you did take my advice. You kicked the bankers out, gave them nothing, and you told them to go pound sand. And since then, as of like almost right now, I mean any day now, they are back flush. They are now profitable.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Fitch again or another one of these agencies. They are now creditworthy. They have just hit nice creditworthy status once again. This just happened a couple years ago. And they're beautiful. The people are beautiful. Everybody's happy. The economy's great. There's no austerity. There's none of this nonsense that the people of Greece and other places, including Spain, by the way, they're riding over there right now. Not heavy duty, but they're also trying to implement the same stuff over there. It will not work because you cannot fix a debt problem by piling on more debt.
You know, these austerity measures are taking away services from the people, which the people had nothing to do with whatsoever at all. What you just got finished saying is that the people in Greece, as Greece is the rest of the people that you just mentioned, you might as well just start getting ready to eat dog food. Because, I mean, the things ain't going to get any better. That's the cheapest canned good out there on the market right now. Because these bankers, Goldman Sachs, I guarantee they are the ones who are holding this debt. These bankers have come in and bought up this country. This literally hook, line, and sinker. And your country has actually bought into it. And now look at the people out there. They have nowhere to turn. Hey, I heard today that they were the originators of this thing called democracy. Now, democracy is supposed to be, allegedly, quote unquote, supposed to be where the ruler is supposed to ensure that the people would have a good lifestyle and make sure that he protects them and watches over them. But the type of democracy we're seeing today is these people enriching themselves. We have the rich, we have the poor. No such thing as middle class. No such thing as I'm in the happy medium and stuff. These people are gutting people, and here is the cancer of capitalism. Because now what we've got is we got this accumulation of wealth only for a chosen few people, while the rest of the people just shut your mouth, have a good day, that now you're eating apple for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Am I correct, brother?